Dr. Kemi Lawrence, September 30th, 2024. The time in Nigeria right now is about 5:30 p.m. And I just got this notification from Sahara reporters that NSA chief Nuhu Ribadu, formerly of the EFCC, is asking me to apologize to him for making statements that Falana bought stolen property from the EFCC when he was in power. And if I don't, within 7 days, he's going to sue me for 10 billion naira. I want to laugh, but I can't laugh. But let me just say this right now, okay? Nigerians, I have told you that we have to fall before we can rise again. You know what I mean? They say pride comes before a fall. It's actually a fall that comes before pride. Nigeria must fall, and then we're going to build our country back again because of these kind of people, these non-entities and glorified thieves, okay? Young people, wake up and listen carefully, because I did this video like last week, and I want to really get down into it. That sometimes you don't open a can of worms, and that means like you're going to open all the stuff you didn't want open. And I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to say it all right now. Okay, my father's still alive. He's 89 years old. Okay, when I was young, 16 years old, we lived at a place called number 2 Bedwell Road, Ikoyi in Lagos. 2 Bedwell Road was our home address, and that was the iconic address of Muritala Mohammed when he was killed. The very same gates that Muritala Mohammed drove out of on the morning of February 13, 1976, and got killed at the corner there by the Federal Secretariat by Colonel Dimka. That's the house we lived in 1977-78. I was about almost 16 years old in 1980. And then by 1983, we left and moved back to Ibadan because my dad was running for governor. But let me tell you the story right here. When we were in Bedwell Road, Ikoyi, my dad was working at what they call NSTDA. Okay, today it's called the Ministry of Technology and all that. So my father was like a minister, or what they call a federal commissioner. So he was working for the Obasanjo administration and the Yaradua administration. Young Gen Z people, Yaradua was Shehu Musa Yaradua, who was what we call vice president today. In those days, it was called the Chief of Staff Supreme Headquarters. Chief of Staff Supreme Headquarters. That was the right-hand man to the president. And Obasanjo was the president. There was no Asorok, there was no Abuja. They lived in Dodam Barracks, a military barracks, because they were generals. Now, when we were young in those days, okay, the Ribadus also lived, in Lagos. And Nuhu Ribadu's father used to come to our house like almost every Saturday. He was at our house every weekend. You know why he was at our house? Because of Amala. He loved Amala a lot. Bless his soul, he's gone now. But he loved Amala a lot, and his wife couldn't make it. None of his wives could make amala, so he would come and eat it at our house. My mom would make it. She'll fry chicken all day. They'll listen to music and all that. Everybody was very close to my dad. And I was like 16. I knew was probably like 18 or something, 17, 18. Anyway, we grew up together in those days. Now, today when you see Ribadu Way on the street sign, some of you just think it's a street. There's stories behind these things. And journalism is a rough draft of history. I'm the only daughter of a high-ranked politician in Nigeria that's also a journalist, because these high-ranked politicians, they don't want journalists to know their secrets, and I'm one of them. There's a lot of stories I hear from my father that I've never mentioned him as a source, and there's a lot of stories you've seen that I've mentioned, and you say, oh my God, she was right. Some of my sources are actually my father. We are a hotbed of history. My father's IQ is 201 and mine is 207. Yeah, we're higher than Einstein. So anything I'm going to say on this video, and I might do a part 2, you better take it with a grain of salt, all right? Mr. Ribadu says I accused him of selling stolen property to Falana. Nuhu, I did not accuse you of selling stolen property to Falana. You shouldn't be suing me for 10 billion or suing me at all, okay? I accused Falana of buying stolen property from the EFCC coffers. Falana used to represent a lot of politicians, a lot of big boys who lost cars, cash, hard currency, houses, politicians. Yeah, a politician was arrested. They seized 10 properties, 4 bungalows, 3 houses. All those houses you say you forfeit to the federal government. Who is the federal government? Who is the federal government? Government prosecuting government, government investigating government. When does this stop? at the end of the day, what I said in my video, okay, clear English. I know you're from Northern Nigeria, and English is very weak in Northern Nigeria, but the English I said in there, okay, is that Falana bought stolen properties from the EFCC. Now, this brings me to VDM. Okay, I've seen all the stuff that happened today at the National Assembly. I'll get to that later. Let me finish with VDM's files before I come to you, but I'm just giving you a taster right now because you would not like me, Nuhu. You will not like me. Okay, I grew up with your likes. Okay, now, when the EFCC seizes anything, have you ever told the Nigerian people where it goes? You just tell them, oh, it was forfeited to the government. How? Where did all those cars come from? Since your tenure as the first EFCC chief, did you not want to go after Obasanjo at a point, the person that actually created the parastatal? And then you were going to be his target and you ran out of the country or you ran away from Obasanjo. Why did you go into exile? No, tell Nigerians, why did you go into exile from the EFCC? And they had to choose somebody else. You versus Obasanjo. We're going to get to that. But first things first, okay? Falana, them no born his papa or mama to even sue me. Because I have a history with Falana, the Oromoni case. Aside from that, you can see what Falana is doing. He's everywhere. Okay, he's in the NSA's fraud, telling people, activists and people, to take money from the Lagos state government as a gift. 100 million. I'm reading it. I'm seeing everything. Falana is a glorified thief. Okay? There's something called integrity, Nuhu. Integrity. When you see stuff from the EFCC, you're saying it's making you look bad as the head of the NSA. It's not you I spoke about in my video. It was Falana. Falana bought something and you didn't know he bought it. That's what you need to say. I'm not aware of that in my tenure. That's what you say. You don't come and take one lawyer and tell them to sue me for 10 billion. But I will expose all of you because you're all glorified, corrupt leaders. All right? I'm a citizen of almost 2 countries now, and I'm telling you, I'm not playing around. Drop your lawsuit, Nuhu Ribadu. Drop it fast. I don't care if you're the head of the NSA. The NSA is the National Security Agency and one of the highest agents. If I was in Nigeria, you'd have sent DSS to my house, right, to pick me up, right? That's when Nigeria will really get on fire. You cannot silence voices, especially journalists. Okay, I'm your biggest nightmare. I'm not in the country and I'm going to speak back onto what has happened here. Mr. Falana should be suing me, not you. And it brings me back to VDM because it's the same thing going on now with VDM. The National Assembly called VDM to show up with Bobrisky and Olukoyede and the prison officials. Who showed up? 3 prison officials, not the comptroller, I don't think, and VDM. And then some of the reps were even threatening VDM with arrest if he doesn't talk. You can't force anyone to talk. Bobrisky was not there. Everybody needs to be there. Why was Olanipekun Olukoyede not there? You're in the same administration full of corruption. You're picking up 1.4 billion naira in loans, new loans. For what? Why is Nigeria borrowing money? Why do we have 17-year-olds on television arrested by the police, the same police that you're in, or you were in at one time, arrested by police in the HK, Hustler's Kingdom? They're asking these young people to open Facebook accounts, learn crypto, learn Forex, and dupe people, right? Were they really teaching them the crypto or the Forex? Or they were teaching them how to use the crypto and the Forex to dupe people? I sat down 8 times this year teaching people Facebook monetization free. I could have taught those kids free. Did I not say it on Arise News, on my interview with Hush Puppy? That we should teach these children how to use tech the right way. But you guys sit down and you're being recycled from government after government after government, the same damn people in the government. Nuhu, don't let me start you. There are things going on under your neck that you did not know. Same thing with Magu, same thing with Bawa. Those boys under Magu, directly under Magu, they were seizing all that hard dollars from those Igbo businessmen. And they shared it between themselves. Let me start you in Nigeria, okay? The same thing with the boys that worked under Bauer. The same thing with you. Now, if you don't know what your boys are doing in EFC, ask. So don't come and tell me that I'm saying Falana could have been buying all this stuff without your knowledge. Isn't that what's happening now with Olukoyede? Some people took 50 million naira bribe and Olukoyede doesn't know. And he doesn't even show up at the National Assembly. This is just part 1 I'm going to continue this. Nigerians, please rally around me, support me, donate, send money so I can pay Nuhu 10 billion.